Good morning, friends. My name is Mrs. Shawanibin, and when my friend asked me to record this video for Ann Arbor Pride, I was so excited because I knew exactly what it was that I wanted to teach. And so I'm really excited to be here with you guys, and I'm really happy that you guys are all here with me. So today's lesson, I want to teach you about a word called empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand someone else's feelings. So it means being able to put yourself into somebody else's place when they're feeling bad, when something's not going right, and when they need a friend. It means being able to step up and say, hey, I know how I would feel in that situation, and I want to be kind to you because of it, because we've all been in a place where we have not been feeling our best, and we needed someone to show us some empathy, and it's so important that we're able to show that empathy to others. In my classroom, we called it the E word, and so that means when someone is sad, you don't laugh at them, you don't poke at them, you don't ignore them, you give them what they need in that moment because you understand them and you identify with them. To identify with someone means to be able to see yourself in them, to understand those emotions because you've had them yourself. And maybe not for the same reasons, but for some reason or another, you needed a friend. And so by the end of this lesson, I'm hoping that you understand your own emotions a little better, how to stand up for yourself, but also how to stand up for others when they need you, because empathy saves lives. And that is not me being a drama queen. It can literally save lives. You being there for someone when they need you could be what keeps them there that day. And it's so important that we recognize when other people need that, and that other people recognize when we need it ourselves. So if anybody knows my teaching, you know my teaching style. I teach with books. I love books, and this book is perfect to teach this lesson. It is called One, and it is by Catherine Otashi. And when I found this book, I knew it was perfect for this lesson. So I just want to read it to you guys really quick. This is One by Catherine Otashi. Blue was a quiet color. That's my friend Blue. He enjoyed looking up at the sky, floating on the waves, and on days he felt daring, splashing in rain puddles. Every once in a while, he wished he could be more sunny like yellow, or bright like green, or more regal like purple, or outgoing like orange. But overall, he liked being blue, except when he was with red. Red was a hothead. He liked to pick on Blue. Red is a great color, he'd say. Red is hot, blue is not. Then Blue would feel bad about being blue. I always think about, who do I know that's like Red? Do I have any friends who can get kind of mean to other friends? Make them feel bad about themselves? And what would I do if I saw that friend doing that? Sometimes Yellow comforted Blue. Blue is a very nice color, she said. But Yellow never said that in front of Red. She never said, stop picking on Blue. Green, purple, and orange thought Blue was nice too, but they never told Red to stop either. Every time Red said something mean and no one spoke up, he got bigger and bigger and bigger. Soon, Red grew so big that everyone was afraid of him. No one dared stop him. Red picked on all the colors. Then everybody felt a little blue. Until one came. He had a different shape with bold strokes and squared corners. He was funny. He made the colors laugh. Red saw this and got very hot. Stop laughing, he told yellow. Stop laughing, he told green. Stop laughing, he told purple and orange. And they did. Red rolled up to one. Stop laughing, he told them. But one stood up straight like an arrow and said, no. Red was mad, but one wouldn't budge. So Red had to roll away. One turned to the other colors and said, if someone is mean and picks on me, I, for one, stand up and say, no. Then yellow felt brave and said, me too. And then green agreed and said, me 3. Then purple became 4 and orange became 5. All the colors are turning into numbers now. Blue saw the colors change. He wanted to count. Red grew red hot. He felt left out. He grew hotter and hotter and hotter. Red raced over to Blue and said what he always did. Red is hot, Blue is not. But this time, Blue stood up tall and he became 6. Red can be really hot, he said, but Blue can be super cool. Red blew a fuse and he tried to roll over Blue. But everyone took a stand and said, no. Seeing them standing tall made Red feel very, very small. Then Red turned even redder and began to roll away. Blue called out, can Red be hot and Blue be cool? Red stopped in his tracks. Red can count too, said one. Red rocked and rolled and turned into 7. Everyone counts, they shouted. And then Red laughed, enjoying the fun. Sometimes it just takes one. That's the end. Again, that book was one by Catherine Otashi. I encourage you all to find it at your local bookstore or library. I think it's amazing. And it teaches us such a valuable lesson when we learn to stand up for ourselves and for each other, because Blue could have stood up for himself and been like, no, I don't like that. But maybe Red wouldn't have listened. Red was bigger. He was hotter. It took all the colors to come together and decide that we are not going to let Red pick on Blue or any of us anymore. And so your homework is, because I know y'all love some homework, your homework is to think about a time when you've seen someone act like Red. What did you do in that situation? Did you stand up and say, no, everybody counts? Or did you kind of play the background and let that happen? And if you did, that's okay. We've all been there where we didn't speak up when we should have because we didn't know how, or we were afraid, or we didn't want to get picked on ourselves. But empathy, that E word we talk about, empathy means putting yourself in Blue's shoes. If you're orange or if you're yellow, You say, hey, I don't like the way red is treating blue. I'm not going to let that happen anymore. That's empathy. Empathy is saying, if someone was saying that to me and making me feel small, I would want my friends to stand up for me. I would want my friends to tell Red, like, that's not cool. You don't get to talk to people like that. That's empathy. Empathy is seeing someone who needs a friend and understanding them and saying, this is what I can do for you. I can stand up for you. And if you're not comfortable standing up to that bully, because to me, Red was kind of a bully. And if you're not comfortable standing up to that bully, go get an adult. There's nothing wrong with that. Going to tell. Going to say, hey, I witnessed something and my friend Blue is feeling really upset. I know, because I would be feeling really upset if that was me. And that's empathy, friends. And that's not something you got to be a grown-up to do. Nobody is too small to show empathy. And it's free. You can give it away. So that lesson was on empathy. And again, the book that I used to teach that was One by Catherine Otashi. If you cannot find the book, there is a really cool YouTube video of kids reenacting it in the play. And that's all for me. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.